Oh god, it's so difficult to sit here, man. But okay. Genuine smile. This video is regarding nutrition. We'll be talking about the major macronutrients that are fats, somewhere around here, protein, and there at bottom carbs or carbohydrates. We rely on these macronutrients in order to transform our body, whether we are gaining muscles or we want to lose some fat. We set up limits. How do we do that? We do it by setting a standard calorie scale that we call maintenance calories. So coming to the point, what is maintenance calories? Okay, it changes from person to person. It depends on the basal metabolic rate of an individual, and accordingly a maintenance calorie scale or a maintenance calorie index is set. I won't go into depth about the BMR or the basal metabolic rate, but let me give you a trick. Like, you convert your weight from kg to lbs or pounds. Lbs, pounds, it's the same scale. So taking my example, if I weigh 68 kg, I'll be converting it to pounds. That comes to 150. What I do is, now I do a little bit maths. I'm pathetic at maths. Now I'll multiply 150 by 13. That is 1950. Those are my maintenance calories. If I'll eat beyond this limit, I'll be gaining muscles or weight, and if I eat below this calorie, I'll be losing my weight and my muscle. It all depends on what I'm feeding my body. Okay, the maintenance calorie, why am I tracking it? See, every macronutrient has a calorie index. Starting with protein, 1 gram of protein, it has 4 calories. 1 gram of carb has 4 calories too, and 1 gram of fat, it has 9 calories. Maintenance calories, these calories. Okay, now comes a misconception about fats. You're fat, bro. So there's a misconception that if you eat fats, you will get fat. It is not like that. Fats are equally important as other two macronutrients. Why? Because it boosts your metabolism, and plus fats are the only macronutrient that will help in maintaining your cholesterol level. And what is the main role of cholesterol? It controls your hormones and it promotes your growth hormone that we say testosterone. Okay, it's again going too deep. Let's come below. So let's talk about how do you set your macronutrients as per your goal. Okay, if you want to gain muscles slash bulk up, or you want to cut or slash lose some fat, the amount of protein you will be taking is same in both the cases, because protein is the most important macronutrient that repairs your muscle or that promotes your muscles. Okay, so there is no compromise on protein. You'll have to take a certain amount of protein, and it's same for both the cases. How do we calculate how much protein do we need? Again, there is some maths in this, but the maths is pretty simple. How much you weigh in your lbs scale is your daily protein intake. What I mean by this is, again, taking my example, my weight is 150 lbs. Okay, I'll be taking 150 grams of protein. Okay, whether I want to lose the fat or to gain muscle, protein is steady. The second macronutrient that is steady is fats. Like I told you, fat is the culprit, and fat is being notorious over here, but actually fat is not that bad. 30% of your overall maintenance calorie, it should include a certain amount of calories, that is 30% from fats. And by consumption of 30% of fat, I'm talking about good sources of fat that are rich in omega-3 and omega-6. It doesn't mean that you're having ice creams and those gulab jamuns, because yeah, they have tremendous amount of fat, but that fat That fat is the real culprit. That fat is notorious. That's why people, they extremely exclude fat from their diet, and that's the worst mistake one can do. Because like when you have an imbalance in your hormones, there is no point. Like you won't see any result in your body, no matter if you're losing or gaining. So like I said, whether my goal is to shed fat or gain muscle, my protein intake, it is stable in both the cases. My fat intake is same, that is 30% of the total maintenance calorie from good sources of fat. Now, the third part, that is CARBS, okay, carbs. You will have to play with your carbs intake. You'll have to do certain kind of modifications in your carb intake. See, there's a lot of maths, and I have tried it. You know, it's very difficult to weigh your food and weigh your macros and stuff. Every video on YouTube, it starts from start weighing your food, and it's not technically possible. Okay, so I have my own set of tricks, and it really worked for me, and it will work for you as well. Okay, what you're gonna do, if you seriously want to gain some weight, you know how we calculate our maintenance calorie, right? So the protein intake stable, fat stable. How much carb are you gonna take? You multiply the weight that's in lbs. Suppose again me, okay, if I want to gain muscle or gain weight, what I'll do, I'll multiply it by 2. Okay, so 150 into 2, that comes to be 300 grams of carbohydrates. And carbohydrates, what I mean by carbohydrates, again, not any carbohydrate, complex, good, whole food carbohydrates. And I'll be altering the calories of the macronutrients according to my maintenance calories, and I'll be in calorie surplus. What I mean by calorie surplus, I'll go beyond my maintenance calories, that a little bit up, and this upward movement is, these are the 300 gram carbs that I'll be taking, the extra 300 gram carbs. Okay, so for the people who are looking to shred the fat or lose some fat, same is the case with you. No change in protein intake, since you want to keep those hardened muscles. No change in your 30% fat intake, that has to be 30% for proper balance of your hormones and your cardiovascular health. The modification that you will be doing is in the carb scale or in the carb macronutrient. You multiply your body weight like we did in the earlier case, but by 0.5. And it's taking my example. If I want to shed some fat, I'll be taking 150 into 0.5, that is 75 grams of carbs, and not more than that, because that's how I'll be making a calorie deficit. And this calorie deficit, it's the gap that we require for fat loss. The muscles are already reserved and packed. They won't burn that easily because the amount of protein is adequate. The fats, they are a different story. They'll keep your heart pumping. So if you are like creating a deficit in your carb intake, your body will be taking the energy from the fat cells, and that's how you'll be losing a good amount of fat from your body without losing a hell lot of muscle. See, so for people who didn't get me, it's too sad because I tried to keep it simple. So in simpler terms, if you want to gain muscle, your weight's in lbs into 2, that's twice your weight. And if you want to lose the fat or to cut, then half the lbs of your body weight, or half into your weight in lbs. Okay, I think there will be something. I'm pretty confident that you will definitely be seeing the results, because I have tried it on myself, and both the times I got the results. Like when I was gaining muscle also, I gained a good amount of muscle, and when I was cutting, I had a good result with cutting also, with following the same plan that I have been telling you. And I'm not saying that this plan is exactly 100% accurate, because nothing is 100% accurate, but definitely 90% this method will help you. Don't ask for a diet, make your own custom diet, because I have seen people that when they saw a result in me, they were like, please tell me, send your diet chart. It's different for every individual. Totally depends on your BMR, and your BMR, it depends on your weight And to be very precise, it depends on a lot of factors. It depends on your height, it depends on your age, it depends on your weight, but it's a pretty little shortcut that comes 90% accurate. See, I was like this, okay, and I changed to this, and right now I am this. Like, this is not a good time because there is no gym, but somehow I'm maintaining it. It all depends on nutrition, it all depends on what you feed your body. 50 grams of protein, like the fuck it's coming, bandhuj bandhuj bandhuj. 80% is diet, 15% is your gym, and 5% is your editing your camera angle. Stay tuned.